I don't know. What should be the goal of tonight? Tonight's goal is to have fun. I don't know. I'm trying to like think of like what kind of fun challenges we could do so that the VOD is actually somewhat interesting. We can put a fun title for it. um the title of this VOD is gonna be like, I don't know. Um I don't know, probably just chill Mario Kart chats to fall asleep to or something. Um yeah, I've been wanting to get into PC gaming. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I have. I've been wanting to do more PC gaming than I have. Cause yeah, I bought a PC. I bought the gaming PC. I like bought a bunch of games, and then my mom, I was lucky enough to get the Asus ROG Ally for Christmas. But yeah, I still need to put in the effort to actually play my games. Recently bought two PS5 controllers used on eBay. They said the condition for them weren't the best and had some drift on them, but to my surprise, one of the controllers was in almost like new condition, but the other one isn't in the best condition physically, so I plan on doing a shell replacement for it. Oh, interesting. Interesting. And where are they? Is it just the... Is it the, standard white ones? I've been really like I love controller variants, but the problem is that I don't have a need for them. Oh, both are black. Oh, interesting. Yeah, cause why did I buy I for some I forget why did I buy two controllers? I bought one, well, because obviously the PS5 comes with one controller. I bought a second controller for some reason. Maybe it was a sale or something. But and then I bought the shoot. I bought the, is it LeBron James? I think it's LeBron. I don't know anything about basketball or sports in general. I don't know anything about sports ball, but I think LeBron James has like a PS5 controller, and there was this point in time where it was basically on clearance from PlayStation, so I think it was like something like 40 or $50 for this PS5 controller. It's like the LeBron James one with all the writing on it. Here, wait, I actually have it here. Yeah, it's like, so like this controller has like all this like writing on it. I guess nobody was buying it, so then they just put it on like a really cheap sale. So I was like, sure, why not? I'm not gonna lie, when they first, I remember seeing this, and um I remember seeing this when they first announced it, and I thought it actually looked pretty cool. I thought it was like a cool like graffiti looking, like obvious, like I don't know anything about sports ball, so I didn't know it was like a LeBron James collab. So I was like, oh, that's a cool like graffiti looking artwork, but yeah. So it's like I didn't know what it was, but I thought the artwork looked kind of cool. Ain't no one want a LeBron James collab, LMAO. It did not sell well at all. Yeah, that's what I figured. But, huh. Wait, is LeBron James a controversial figure, or is it just that nobody cares about about basketball? Did LeBron James do something bad? Am I gonna get cancelled for buying the LeBron James controller? Oh god. Um, love limited edition controllers. I have the Spider-Man 2. Oh, nice. Heck yeah. The Spider-Man 2, all the Spider-Man 2 stuff looks really sick. Oh, the Last of Us control. Yeah, nice. That's sick. I love those controllers too. Um, yeah, I was like debating for a long time about getting the Spider-Man the cover plates or whatever. Ah, shoot. And yeah, speaking of which too, I've also been debating for a long time if I should get any cover plates at all for my PlayStation 5. I love the colors. I love that they have color variant color plates or cover plates for the PlayStation. Ow. He's not that controversial at all. Great NBA player. He gets memed on a lot, like Drake. But I think he was meant to promote. The collab was meant to promote NBA 2K. I see. Yeah, I do like me some good variants, color variants. Um, like, I think that's something that PlayStation. I feel like PlayStation does that a lot, right? PlayStation usually does a lot of color variants, and that's always fun. I wish Nintendo would do more color variants. The freaking Pro controller only it's been excuse me 7 years and the Pro controller still only comes in black. Like, what's up with that? Oh man, I wanted to link you a copy of Hogwarts Legacy that was on eBay, but I didn't know if I should DM you on this. Oh. Oh wait, did I ever? I maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't mention, but I ended up finding Hogwarts Legacy. I think around like Black Friday, like Thanksgiving Black Friday times. I think it was on sale at Target for like 35 bucks. So I did manage to find one, but thank you. Ah, for PS5. Yeah, for PS5. I was surprised it was like very cheap. And like, yeah, especially the PS5 version, usually like, because I remember when I bought it from Target, it was a really good deal. It was also, it must have been for Black Friday, like Thanksgiving Black Friday. It was on sale at Best Buy at the same time for like $40 or something, and then Target had it for 35. So I was like, oh heck. And then yeah. Have you played it? Actually, I have not played it. I haven't even played it yet. I have so many goddamn, like, it's literally so bad. So many games on my backlog. But, I'm looking forward to trying it. Didn't finish it either, I'm still at the beginning. It's just so many goddamn games to play. I will say, I'm honestly kind of at a point now. I'm debating possibly just accepting my fate of not being able to play. Some games, because it also is the thing where it's like I buy so many games that I run out of space for them, which I guess isn't really a problem for if you do digital, but like, I don't know, I love physical games, so like my shelf is like literally overflowing. So I'm like, I might just have to just like, yeah, accept the fact that I might not be able to play some games. Tell me about it. My backlog isn't getting any smaller. Yeah, it's literally that's the hardest thing about a backlog is that like it just grows. It's like yeah, it's like even when I want to like sit down and play the games on my backlog, it's like okay, I played one game and then it's just like one tiny little dent on my backlog. Um, yeah, but I might have to just like accept that there are some games that I'm just not going to ever get to, which is hard because I really want to play all of like the like I want to like I've never played Skyrim before and I like really want to I want to at least be able to say that I've played Skyrim, but like it's just like sitting on my backlog for forever. Um yeah, it's also that thing too where it's like games like that like the like Skyrim's on my backlog and The Witcher 3, and it's like though I feel like those games are like games where you have to invest a lot of time into it, so it's like oh, how am I gonna if I want to play all these games, but the games take, such a long time to play, like what do I do? Um so yeah, it's a struggle. Which is sad because it's like why it's like if like I want to be able to play video games for fun. It's sad that it has to feel like a struggle. Like this is supposed to be my fun times. Um oh god, oh god. Oh shoot. I'm not good at this map. Yeah. Probably not a burnout, but I just lack the motivation to play video games sometimes. That's fair, yeah. That's really fair. Yeah. Like sometimes it does get like really tough to just like sit down and play a video game. I say that as I'm sitting here on a live stream playing Mario Kart. But yeah, I feel that. I've mentioned too, just like it gets really frustrating for me just because, and to anybody who is in like video game content creation, it's like really frustrating because you have to make videos about video games, but then you have to play the video games to know. Like it's like, oh. Like luckily whenever I make videos, it's like, oh, wow. Wow, that was a rude green show. Sadie said, hello, hello. Welcome in, Sadie. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. You feel that too? And good morning to you as well. Yeah. I was dodging the banana and then the green shell just came right into my face. Rude. Doing well. Good to hear, good to hear. And thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like Mario Kart because Mario Kart is just like I get to chat with the chat. I feel like not that I'm good at Mario Kart, but I feel like I know Mario Kart enough now that I can just kind of like turn off my brain as far as the game goes and just like chat. But yeah, backlog is tough. I know so because there's this YouTuber I watch who her name is shoot, I'm gonna butcher her name. It's like Orbalology. But her name is Emily, and She recently posted a video about how to oh, you watch her? Nice. Heck yeah. Yeah, one of her videos, she does a lot of like collecting videos if you guys want to go check her out on YouTube. Um, but she recently posted a video about like tackling backlog your video game backlog, and like she made like a whole spreadsheet and with like a randomizer so like you can pick your next game. Like I love that. Like I need that in my life, I feel like. um do you guys do that? Do you guys like actually keep track of your games? Like I've started doing that. I've actually started doing that last year I think was when I started doing it. I like just like sat down one day, I made a spreadsheet of all the games that I own, and like all the ones that I haven't started yet, the ones that I have started but haven't finished, and then like so my spreadsheet of games looks like, so I have the game listed in like a table, and then like in one column I have like the date that I started the game, and then the next column I have like date that I finished the game, and then I also have like columns for my pros and cons with the games. So like I'm like writing my own freaking IGN reviews just for my own spreadsheet. She also does her financing for how much she spends on her collection. Yeah, it's super cool. Like I would imagine, I don't know for sure, but I imagine that's like what her background is like spreadsheet, like financing type of stuff. So it's really cool that it's fun when she like breaks down all of her finances like that. Oh, wow. Man, getting hit with a green shell is like the most just degrading thing in this game. A green shell of all things. Okay. Gosh, I haven't, but I bet it's a few thousand I've spent. It's why I'm focusing on achievement hunting to finish games I do own. Oh, that's fun. Like, what are you into like 100%ing games? That's cool. I respect that. I honestly have like a list of games I want to play in my notes app, and then when I complete it, just put a check mark next to it, but I don't play anything in particular order. Gotcha. But then games like Power would come out, and that all flies out the window, and I start a new game. That's funny. I know, I'm curious about Power World. It's funny that that game just kind of came out of nowhere. I guess that's like the second. I mean, obviously that has happened a bunch of times, but I feel like the last game that has randomly just come out, and the last game that like randomly came out and just like sucked in a lot of people was like Suika Game or something. Like I feel like Power World is like a very similar Suika Game effect. I would love to do a video of my game collection, but I can't find the time to do it. And I don't have a proper area to record it. Aw, bummer. Honestly, you should do it. Well, I mean, if you want to, but if you don't want to, that's... But yeah, you could do it where... You could literally do it, like, on your video game shelf, I think is even fun. Trying to 100% games I own on Steam now. Shame not all of them have achievements. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, respect for that. I definitely could not have the patience or attention span to 100% games, so that's... I'm always surprised, like, when people... Or, like, I'm always impressed when people do that. Oh, jeez. Turtwig, you like platinum trophy hunting? Nice, nice. It's so good and addictive. Highly recommend if you can handle a couple small bugs. Gotcha. I'm waiting to see like what's gonna happen with Power World. I wonder if, cause yeah, Nintendo has been cracking down on the Pokemon specific mods. I wonder if like they're ever going to try to do anything about the actual game itself. Like I feel like there should I wonder if they have like a counter. If they have like a counter on in their office, like days without Nintendo suing us. Oh, I should have hit Mario with my shells. Oh, apparently they tried to sue Power and lost. Oh. Thank you, I'm on 16 games out of like 110. Jeez. But my overall game completion has gone from 16% to 33% over the last couple years. Hey, that's actually pretty good. I mean, when you think about it, it's more than doubled. It's a little bit more than doubled, but still, more than doubled. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I wonder, well, I'm actually curious. I was wondering this a bit earlier. What's the story with Digimon? What happened there? Wait, Digimon are created from data while, oh, I know. What's the history between Digimon and Pokemon? Did Pokemon come out before Digimon? Start date, I don't know. Digimon start date. Oh, I don't know. I only did a very basic Google search, but it looks like Pokemon started in 96. Digimon started in 97. No clue about Digimon, gotta be honest. I feel like it's so funny because I feel like there were a lot of, and there probably still are, a lot of times where it's like ow. Where like things very similar to Pokemon come into play or like come out. I wanted to get into it, but they're both such big games. Gotcha, yeah. Like, I feel like, I don't know if it's like a fair assessment or like a fair comparison of like, I feel like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh are kind of similar. And then also there was like, I remember in elementary school when Bakugan was really big, and like, it was like, because I never got into Pokemon. I never really got into like any of that stuff, like any like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or Digimon. Like that was mostly my brothers got really into like Yu-Gi-Oh, but I never really cared for anything. The only thing I cared about when I was a kid was Thomas the Tank Engine. But so like when Bakugan came out, I thought it was the coolest thing ever just because of the little toys. So in case, I don't know is Bakugan still around? I imagine it probably still is, right? Bakugan has to still be around. But yeah, I remember when Bakugan first became big in my elementary school, it was like, so the toys that they had were like, they were magnetic cards that you would put on the table or whatever, and then you would roll the little Bakugan creature or whatever onto the card, and then the magnet would make the thing, oh god, the magnet would make the little Bakugan open up. And I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. I was like, holy crap. I was like, you know Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards, but look at this whole thing where it's like you roll the thing and then it it pops open. Like I thought that was like the coolest thing. I was like, oh, like this is like the next cool. This is gonna be the next big thing because it's not just cards now. It's like whole toys. So then I bought some Bakugan just because I wanted to fit in with the other kids, but I didn't really know. I didn't know anything about what was going on. I feel like the creators of Digimon and the original creators of Pokemon were probably like the friends with the same idea, but split up over time as they had different creative direction, which happens more times than you think. Gotcha. No, that's interesting. Yeah, like, what am I trying to think of? Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, who did that? I guess Apple. Apple kind of did that. And then the Nintendo PlayStation. Yeah, I feel ya. You remember those two? Yeah, Bakugan. So funny. But yeah, because I feel, I don't know. Maybe it's just like coincidence, but I feel like Digimon and Pokemon are like so similar in name. But I guess maybe it's just like like the Japanese, you know, monster, pocket monster. So like digital monster, I guess. Ow. Yeah. My brothers, so when my brothers were really into Yu-Gi-Oh, I thought it was so cool. Like, well, cause I was just like I was a dumb kid, so like I always liked toys and stuff. Yeah, growing up, I loved Thomas the Tank Engine, so I loved toys. So like when my brothers were into Yu-Gi-Oh and they had that whole freaking wristband Yu-Gi-Oh card playing thing, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, but I just like the freaking giant wristband. I thought that was so cool. Also, thank you for the hydrate. Sorry. Once I get a chance here. I have been talking a lot. Yeah, it was so, I thought it was like the coolest thing because it was just like the show too. That was the other cool thing about it, was that it was just like the show. It was like this whole wristband thing, and then you could put the cards onto the, god dang it, I was too busy explaining Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, you put the cards onto the wrist thing. Yeah, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then yeah, did you guys ever in like grade school, did it ever become like a problem with cards and toys and whatnot at school? I remember there were quite a few controversies at our school, like as far as like, you know, you can't, like for some reason when I was in elementary school, like pogs were in again for some reason. So like I remember there were like they had to enforce rules about like about sharing pogs and whatnot, or like yeah, stuff like that. Or like yeah, when Bakugan became big, they had to start enforcing rules about like not bringing your Bakugan to school or whatever. Also, thank you for the hydrate. I'm actually quite thirsty. Ow. My leg is asleep. Thank you for the hydrate. Did they ever make a Yu-Gi-Oh game where it wasn't just the cards, but they actually summoned the creatures like in the anime? I know that was one of the reasons I didn't want to do Yu-Gi-Oh yet. Ugh. Oh, sorry, I just maybe were those separate messages? Okay. Yeah. Gotta look after that voice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, yeah. I thought it was always really funny like, whenever there were like, the school would have to. Oh, they were okay. No, don't. Never ever, never ever be sorry in here. But yeah, I feel ya. I don't know if there was ever a game. There was a Yu-Gi-Oh game like that. Like, yeah, I barely knew anything. The only thing I knew about Yu-Gi-Oh was that like my brothers liked it. Like that was it. I know what the cards look like. There were like there were a few local card, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, yeah, like, I guess trading card, like, stores. And, like, they would have, like, rare cards that you could buy for a certain amount of money or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Not too sure. I'm not too sure about the actual specifics of Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, I always thought it was funny what like rules the school had to enforce. Like I remember at one point, so at one point at my school, I don't know, have you guys ever played when you were in grade school, have you guys ever played Foursquare? And if you've never played Foursquare, God, I haven't played since elementary school, so I don't remember the exact rules, but I believe the general idea of Foursquare is that you've never heard of, okay, interesting. Yeah, so the idea of Foursquare is that you have like four squares, obviously, like drawn on the floor. So like they would have like these squares like painted on the concrete. So it would be so it's like so imagine like one square. Oh yeah, so here's my square, my webcam square. And then it's cut in the middle and then cut horizontally and vertically in the middle. So there's four different squares. And I believe the idea is that you have a ball and then sorry, how do you play Foursquare? I think you bounce it into and there's one person in each square, and then so the ball bounces in a square, and you can only have it bounce once in a square. And then so you keep like passing it to each other, and then until somebody gets out. I guess it's kind of like table tennis a little bit, where it's like it can only bounce once in the square, and then if it goes out of the square, if it bounces in the square and then goes out, then that person is out. Or if it like bounces twice in a square, then that person is out. Yeah, and that was like a really like yeah, whenever like we would have like recess in elementary school, and that would be like the game that everybody played. And I remember like at our school, it got to a point with Foursquare where it was like there was so much drama with Foursquare that like they had to start enforcing rules. It was wild. So like I remember they had to have like an announcement or something at school about how to play Foursquare and like about how to like, you know, so that people there isn't drama about Foursquare. It was wild. But yeah, I'm surprised. I guess I don't know. Like it's just it was such a big part of my childhood. Like it was so like normal that it's fun. It's funny when there's people who aren't familiar with it. But yeah, that's Foursquare. Yeah, there was a lot of like lots of heated arguments about Foursquare. Like, are you allowed to beam the ball, or are you allowed to, um, like, oh wait, actually, I think that was a term that I think it was baby bounce. People were like, are you allowed to baby bounce? Um, yeah. Wow, that like unlocked a memory. Yeah. Do you guys ever think about like childhood too? Of like, sometimes I think about how easy and like innocent childhood is, in the fact that it's like, you know, you don't have to worry about anything when you're a kid. Like the biggest thing you have to worry about is like if if Sarah likes you back or something. That's at least what I cared about in in childhood, was like, does Sarah like me back? Unlocking memories is a great feeling, and I often wish I could go back. Aw, yeah. That's the scary thing about life too, is that like it goes forward and there's nothing you can do about it. Like when you think about it, that's kind of like a scary, like kind of like bleak thing. Is that like life just goes. It just keeps going, and then there's like you can't do anything. You can't slow it down or anything. Like it's kind of scary. um OMG, all my crush experiences, I cringe and laugh at the same time. Oh my god, I love that. Oh god. Should we, oh god, should we start diving into crush stories, everybody? What's everybody's cringiest crush stories? Oh god. This is a whole can of worms. um ah. Like I remember my crush sat behind me once and asked me for my pencil sharpener. The nerves and happiness I still remember now, and it was like 15 years ago. Oh my god. Aw, that's cute. So the crush was like, "Oh, can I borrow your pencil sharpener?" And you're like, "You're like me? Are you talking to me?" I feel that. Like when your crush actually, when you realize that your crush actually knows that you exist. That's an exciting feeling. I feel that. My cringiest is probably when he found out I liked him. It was very embarrassing. Oh no. That's the worst. That is the worst. Actually, now maybe it was the time my friend playing playing hot and cold with my teacher, so my teacher could find out who I was crushing on. What? Wait, what? Your teacher actually like did that? Like played along? Aw. What the heck? That's like an interesting question. Do y'all think that should teachers be allowed to like, should teachers be allowed to like sort of invest in their students' crushes and like students, I guess, like love life? Huh. Although I have seen quite a few TikToks of, I've seen a few TikToks from teachers where it's like that they get invested in like the juicy drama from students. So hey, we're all normal. We all like drama. um I remember being seated next to him in that class, but I can't remember if that was before or after. And the teacher tripped over his chair and my friend said she was burnt now. Oh no. think there's nothing wrong with it, and we got on well. Oh, that's nice though. Ah, wholesome. That's wholesome. Um, yeah, well, yeah. I was very much a teacher's pet. Same. Teacher's pet club. Most of my teachers loved me, I think. Oh, but also, wait, I just realized too. I wonder if being a teacher's pet is that does I wonder if that ends up being like a like a psychological like people pleaser trait. I wonder if it's like if you're a teacher's pet when you're a kid that it's like um do you just have like are you just a people pleaser? Because that is my thing. I am like sometimes like I'm sometimes like a crippling I have a crippling like people pleasing tendency. And like so like sometimes I'm well I mean not some I just thought of it now. But like so now I'm like was I a teacher's pet when I was a kid just because I'm like a people pleaser? Teacher's pet club, let's go. Now because troublemakers are also were looking to please people. I think we just have different ways of approaching things. That's fair. That's a fair judgment. No, but yeah, totally teacher's pet. But yeah, so I'm curious. So like, does it? I don't know about like, but sorry, wait, words. So like the few times when I did get a teacher who didn't like me, it like ruined me. Like it ruined me. Like broke my heart. It was the worst time when I would get teachers who didn't like me as a teacher's pet. It like wrecked me to my soul. Like, cause yeah, I do like looking back. I'm pretty. There were some teachers who didn't like me, and like even though I was very much like trying to be teacher's pet, um, and like that's always rough. That's always rough. Um, I just always got on better with adults as a child. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm a very shy person too, which I think also kind of helps with being a teacher's pet because while everyone's talking, I don't talk. So like that, I think that helped with me being a teacher's pet. And then yeah, I like I not to brag, but no, I remember like my fourth and fifth grade teacher really liked me, and I really liked her. Like, my fourth and fifth grade teacher actually ended up coming to my high school graduation, which was like super duper nice. Um, I think one teacher didn't like me at first, but they warmed up to me. That's good. Hey, what's up, Ostafia? Hello, long time no see. It feels like. How the heck are we doing? Can you remember any negative experiences? I guess I'm just impossible not to like. Nice, that's good. That's actually very good. Oh yeah, 100%. I was so shy as a child. Definitely opened up a lot now, though. Oh, that's good. Wholesome ending. I like that. You're doing well. Good to hear. Good to hear. It's going pretty well today. Thanks for asking. Um, Today marks my 16th year of since I posted my first YouTube video, which is like really crazy. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if it's wholesome. My new fear unlocked is I talk too much and annoy people. Oh no! Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, our Lord and Savior Obanobo. Um, yeah, grade school. Actually, speaking of which, speaking of like my videos and my 16 years of making videos and teachers, it's connected. I when I was making videos, so in case you guys didn't know, I started making videos when I was 9 years old, and I was very inspired by like jackass, like stunts and pranks and just being silly and goofy on camera. So like when I was in fifth grade, fifth grade, I it was me and my childhood friends just being silly and doing stupid things, and I realized that I had this trick that I could do where I could put a piece of grass up my nose and then make it come out of my mouth, which I think like everyone can do just because your nose, I guess your nose is connected to your mouth. Ew. I know, I'm sorry. But I thought it was like I thought it was funny and like the coolest thing ever. So yeah, I would like go around and like that was something that I did as a kid. I was that kind of a weird kid where I I wanted to make people laugh because I thought it would get people to like, it would make people like me as if I made people laugh by doing stupid things. So like I would like, go around and show people. I would like, if there was like a girl that I thought was pretty or like that I liked, I would be like, oh, look at this trick. And then shove a piece of grass on my nose and it would come out of my mouth. And then I did that one time and then I got in trouble. I got in trouble. And it was the only like, so yeah, going back to how I was a teacher's pet, the only time I ever got in trouble in grade school was because I put a piece of grass up my nose and made it come out of my mouth. And I had to go to the principal's office. That was the worst part. I never ever went to the principal's office. And so the one time I went to the principal's office was because I put a piece of grass up my nose. And I remember it too because I was just like bawling. Like it was one of those like it was one of those cries where you like cry and you're just like you're doing that like breathing like you can't like breathe. It was like one of those crying. Like it was bad. Yeah. And then so like when my teacher found it, and like since I was a teacher's pet, my teacher already like knew me and like she like I was like, one of like her favorite students possibly. So like my teacher was surprised that I got in trouble for putting grass up my nose. And that was funny. But yeah. That's how I started making videos, and that's also my teacher story. It is a weird thing to get in trouble for. Chase creating YouTube videos while I was embarrassing myself in front of my crush. No, don't worry. I was making videos and embarrassing myself in front of my crush. I was doing both simultaneously. No worries. And yeah, I was 9 years old. Really crazy. Yay, jackpot. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I got my start. I sneezed a piece of pasta out my nose before, though. If we're doing gross nose mouth connection stories. Oh my god. Like, that would be, not gonna lie, I think that would be pretty funny if a whole piece of pasta came out of your nose. And yeah, like, not a whole piece, just a piece of a pizza. Gotcha. Aw. I hate when that happens though. Like sometimes when I'm eating rice and then I'm in the middle of eating rice when I sneeze and then the rice will like come out of my nose. I hate that. Yeah. And speaking, and like, apologies if this is like TMI or gross, but I mean, like, yeah, I'm not like, um, I'm not gonna lie, like, it did, it did escalate it did escalate a bit from there where it was like, I got very, I got very interested to see what I could fit in my nose and make it come out of my mouth. Um, like, I remember, like, one time in algebra class, there was this girl that I liked, and she gave me a strand of her hair, and I put her hair up my nose and it came out of my mouth. I wrote it up in like a ball, and then I put it in my. And then this other time, um, we wanted to see, and by we I mean like me and my middle school friends. We wanted to see if like I could do like a nerd. So like oh wait, also wait, maybe if there's people from around the world who don't know what a nerd is like a little like rock candy. So like I put this candy up my nose and then it got stuck and I was like so scared because like it got stuck up my nose and then like my nostril just like wasn't working, like I couldn't breathe out of my nostril for like, and it was like at recess at school, so like I went through the whole school day just like with a broken nostril basically, and like there's like a nerd stuck up there, and then as I'm walking home from school the nerd just pops out of my throat and I was like, what the heck? Like that was a mistake. And then yeah, that's it. Wait, is that common? It's only ever happened to me once. I feel like, yeah, like a lot of times if I'm eating like rice, especially, I guess since it's like, you know, small grains of rice, and then I sneeze, and then it'll like come out of my nose. I can like feel it in my nose, like it's really gross. Oh no. My gosh, you're gonna start giving me anxiety. Oh no. Luckily that's where it ends. That's where it ends. I got a piece of candy stuck up my nose once and that was it. But it eventually came out of my mouth. Oh my goodness. I was a rambunctious child. But like I was secretly, it was interesting because yeah, I was very much a teacher's pet, but I had a secret double life of also being rambunctious. I was like Hannah Montana. I had a double life. Which I don't know. I feel like maybe I don't know, maybe some kids feel like, where it's like, I feel like I just knew, I feel like I just knew how, I knew when to be respectful and quiet and reserved. And then once I got out, once school was over, then I turned into a rambunctious child. On the back of that lovely story, work is starting shortly, so I need to just grab breakfast and everything before sitting back down. Okay, thanks so much for the lurk. I appreciate it, Sadie. Yeah, childhood, right, guys? Also, I didn't even get to get. I've had. Bleh. Sorry. Oh my god. I had a Porky Pig moment. I haven't been able to get to the cringy crush stories yet, but yeah. I don't even know like where to start like with crush stories. There's so many. Do you guys remember like your first crush ever? Because I do actually remember mine. Like I remember the first time I'm like, oh wait, I like this. I like this girl. Like, do you guys remember that? Do you remember? Was that a saying for you guys when you would have a crush on a girl and then you would say that you like? It would be like, do you like her or like her? And I was like, I like her. I remember the first time like I felt that for a girl. I remember who it was, but I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. Her name was Taylor. I don't think like that's pretty much all there is. I mean, yeah. I remember it was in like second or third grade. There was this girl named Taylor, and then I was like, oh, I find her attractive. And then it all went downhill from there. It all went downhill from there. I'm trying to think, like, what's like the most cringe? Like, I know the most cringy one, but I guess, yeah, the most cringy crush story I have is that I hate like telling the story because then I have to relive it and think about it. The most cringy story I have was when there was this girl that I liked in high school, and I wanted to ask her out, and so the way I did it was by texting her one night and saying, "Hey, I'm taking a math class, and I need to ask people to fill out a survey. Can you fill out my survey after school tomorrow?" And she's like, "Sure." And then I was like, "Cool." And then so I meet up with her, and then when I give her this quote unquote survey, it's a post-it note that says, like, "Will you go out with me? Yes or no?" And she gives me back the pen and the post-it, and she's just like, "Oh, sorry." I hate that. Like, that was my thing. I think that was my thing when I was growing up, was like, I always thought that you, like, I mean, I guess maybe that's just being a kid, but like, always thinking that like you have to do some gesture to show a girl that you're interested. Like, I've done my fair share of gestures because I thought that was just how you do it. And yeah, usually, I mean, every time it backfired. Although I will say, like, there was this one girl who, to this day, I don't know if I was, actually, I guess, I don't know. I don't know if I was necessarily like romantically interested in her, but, yeah, there was this girl who, like, sort of, I guess, like, who felt that I was interested in her, and so when she did, she sent me a text message of like, "Hey, like, I'm not sure what your intentions are, but I just want to let you know that I'm not interested," like, very respectfully declining before I even had a chance to like do any, like, make a gesture or anything, which I think is really nice. Like, that was really nice of her and like really mature of her for, like, I was like a junior in high school, so, and she was a sophomore. Like, very mature of a high school student to do that. Like, I respect that a lot. And I still we're still mutuals on Instagram, and she's super cool, and I love that for everybody. Like, that's my favorite thing too, is like, pretty much, let me think. I'm pretty sure like pretty much every girl that I have been rejected by in school, I'm pretty sure I still keep up with them. We're still mutuals, at least on Instagram. That's like my barometer for like if I'm still on good terms with people, is like if we're mutuals on Instagram. And luckily, like, every girl that I've shown interest in, I'm pretty sure we're still mutuals on Instagram. There is one girl who I don't know what she's I wonder what she's up to nowadays, but yeah, so there was this one girl. This might be another cringy story. I don't think this story beats out the freaking post-it note story, but there is one other cringe story, one of my other most cringiest moments in high school, which is that there was this girl who, there's this girl I knew of her from in elementary school, but then I actually sort of started like actually getting to know her in middle school, and then in high school I went through a really, like, in my sophomore year of high school I went through a really dark time, and so like And so this girl, like, this girl, ow, like checked up on me, which I thought was really kind. But yeah, in senior year, so like 2 years later, we were in the same class, and I was like, hey, like, I wanted to say like thank you for like, you know, having my back all those years ago. And then she's like, what are you talking about, like really like coldly. And then I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know, like I just wanted to like say thanks for, you know, being so cool and all that. And then I get a text from her shortly after where it's like leave my freaking girlfriend alone. Don't text her or anything. Like, just like a pissed off boyfriend. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. And then she like blocked me on everything. Which is, I mean, you know, whatever, like fair enough. But I mean, I don't know about fair enough, but like, I mean, I guess if that's why, if you're yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah. Unlurk, but gotta work, so we'll be quiet. Oh yeah, no worries. No, don't. Yeah, I always say like, I don't want you guys getting in trouble for, if you're like working or anything. I don't want you guys getting in trouble because of a Chase Yama Twitch stream. Like, it's totally okay. But thank you, I appreciate it. Like, out of all things to get in trouble at work for, like, please don't make it a Chase Yama live stream. Yeah, but thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys, I don't know if you guys ever get curious about like what people get up to after like high school and all that. Like, I wonder what some people are up to. I love streams because they provide entertainment, so I will thank you for saying, aw. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Man, I like telling stories from my youth, from my past. Oh yeah, but yeah, going back to that girl and like her boyfriend getting mad at me for for like thanking her. It did mean that the rest of that school year was very freaking awkward being in the same class. Oh my god, that was the worst. That was the worst. But yeah, I'm curious what she's up to nowadays. What else has happened in my life? Ow. Ooh. Here's a question that I sometimes think about. Does anybody in chat want children? Anybody in chat want children? Because I've said this before, and I think I still feel pretty strongly the same way, which is that I don't want kids. I almost feel like more strongly so than before, I don't know. But I mean, first of all, I will say I don't look down on people for having, obviously I don't look down on people at all, but I don't look down on people for having kids. Like, if people want children, then that's totally like their choice. And, you know, if hopefully the children are brought up in a positive environment, and if, yeah, I love that for them. For me personally, I don't want kids, for multiple reasons. I grew up being a babysitter a lot, by which I mean, like, I grew up a lot of times, like, babysitting my half brothers, or like, recently I've been babysitting my niece a lot, and I realized that I don't think I'm cut out for children. Like, I just don't think I'm cut out to have children. It's a lot of responsibility, and I feel like I have a lot of dreams and aspirations that, like, I love children, but I wouldn't want to give up my dreams and aspirations for a child. And, like, who knows, this could all change. Like, I might, you know, we might meet someone who somehow convinces me to have children. I don't know, but as of now, yeah, I don't think I'm cut out to have a child. I also worry about, like, bringing a new life into this current world, like, in the current state that we're in. Like, I would feel bad bringing new life into this world, which, I don't know, like, and once again, like, nothing wrong with people who do want to have kids, like, totally, that's totally cool, and I like, you know, I love that for people. But yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't want to, I just don't have any interest in doing that. I will say though, I think I'm a pretty cool uncle. I think I'm a cool, like, I think I'm good at babysitting babies. Like, kids usually like me, which is, like, really funny, because I feel like I'm still a kid at heart. Like, sometimes if my niece wants to play with toys, I will play toys. I will get into I will, like, write the script of what toys we're playing, you know, like, yeah. I will get into character, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I like, you know, I like babysitting, but I wouldn't want to have a child of my own. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. But yeah, also it's also the thing of, like, I'm so indecisive about pretty much everything in my life that who knows what I'm gonna be feeling in the future. Maybe in the future I'm gonna want a child. So I don't know for certain. Yeah, I don't know how I started talking about childhood crushes and then now I'm talking about babies. About having babies. Let me think. I feel like a lot of my crushes were, like, sometimes, like, a lot of times they were just, like, a whole lot of nothing, where it was like, you know, like, there was this girl who I knew from, like, kindergarten, so, like, I felt like I was pretty close to her, so, like, I ended up catching the feels in like fifth grade. Oh yeah, and then I remember too, like, in fifth grade, like, for all the fifth graders, every year they would have like this banquet where it was like, okay, we're gonna take all the kids to this, like, banquet place, and they're gonna have, like, a nice meal. And, like, I remember we had to have classes about which fork to use for appetizers versus main course. And so like, yeah, you would like get all dressed up, and then like it would be like the thing of like, okay, so who are you gonna ask to go with you to the banquet? And so there was this girl who I knew from like kindergarten that I felt like I was pretty close with, and then so I asked her if she wanted to go to the banquet, and then she said no. Um, yeah, that was rough. Um, yeah. Um, but I mean, what else? I don't know. I feel like like most of my childhood crushes were cringe, but it wasn't there's only like a few that stick out as particularly like extra cringy. Um oh, there was this one girl in it was that I did a lot. I guess I did a lot in fourth and fifth grade. But there's this other girl that I liked too in fifth grade that I sent her for some reason when we were in fifth grade, everyone got really into like, like so like there was like MySpace around that time, but then like everyone got into Gmail. For some reason, we all got into like Gmail and like using the Google chat on Gmail or like sending email like and like I want you to like imagine a 9-year-old writing an email. It was so like, and it's so funny because I still have these emails too, which is like so crazy. Um, so like yeah, we were really into Gmail, and we would like email each other stuff, and then so there was this girl that I liked, and yeah, this girl that I liked, and I emailed her "Fall for You" by Secondhand Serenade. And I was like, oh my god, this song reminds me of you. Oh my god. It was so cringy. Oh god. And then I think too, what made that interaction even more cringy was like, I think because it was the song, I think it might have gotten like taken down for copyright. So like when I think she replied to me in the email and was like, wait, it's not playing. Like I can't play it. Like what are you talking about? Oh my god. It's so embarrassing. Yeah. And yeah, it's so funny because I still have these emails, and I think I have some of the chats. Oh, yeah, that same girl too. Oh my god. I forgot. That same girl too that I sent "Fall for You" in the email. That same girl, I would like ask her, this is so cringe. I would ask her like every day or something like, "Oh, how much percent do you like me back now?" And like so every day it would be like, oh, like maybe like 30%. And then like I think sometimes I would like I would like do something stupid or say something stupid, and then you'd be like, oh, now it's 20%. And I was like, oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god. I forgot about that. Oh my Jesus. God dang. Wow, I was embarrassing as a child. Very embarrassing. Um that's ridiculous. I totally forgot about that. I was embarrassing as a child encompasses me so well too. I know. I feel like, well, I mean, hey, I feel like most kids are embarrassing, right? I feel like we can all look back at our childhoods and just laugh about how embarrassing it was, or how embarrassing we were. Um, but yeah, like, ugh. I just think it's so funny that I did that. I would be like, how much percent do you like me now? Um, yeah. Let me think. I also think about too, like, I don't know, do you guys have regrets of your childhood or like your upbringing or yeah, I guess like of your school, of your childhood? Like I will say like one of my biggest regrets about my childhood was like I wish I made better use of my time and that I wish I feel like I wasted a lot of my years of making videos um trying to make videos to impress people. Like because yeah, like so I made videos like I would do like stupid stunts and pranks to try to impress people. Um, so like eventually when I like gave up on that, like I felt like I just wasted all those years. Um, so like yeah, I wish I could go back to high school and like just be like just like make the videos that I want to make instead of like trying to be someone who I'm not. Um, And then, because like, especially now when it's like, there's like real world stuff, it sucks because I can't put all of my focus onto what I truly care about. So like when I actually had the time to, I wish I took that opportunity. Um, and then, yeah, that's pretty like that's like my main like regret of my childhood. The other regret I have, oh my god, the other regret I have from my childhood was that so they had the senior in high school. They had the senior what was it called? I forget what it was called. Like the senior dance or whatever. And so for the senior dance, because in case you guys don't know, I play music just for fun, but and like I don't know if I'm necessarily good, but it's just something fun that I like to do. And that's another thing too where I wanted to impress girls by playing the guitar. But anyway, so yeah, at the senior dance they were gonna have like a student entertainment. And so I went to this audition for the senior dance to be one of the student entertainers. And the teacher that was running it was the biggest bee with an itch that I have ever met. Like she was like so like she was mad that she was mad that I didn't sign up before coming to the audition. But when I got there to audition, nobody else was there. So it didn't matter anyway. But yeah. And she like the whole time that I was auditioning, she was like the biggest just bee with an itch. And I just like took it because I felt like I was just a kid and this was a teacher. So I was like, oh, like sorry, like I felt like and like yeah, as we like I'm a teacher's pet, so what can I do? But that was one like looking back, that's one thing I regret. I wish I had just like walked out of there. I wish I had been like, okay, never mind, and then just left. Because I don't think I deserve to be talked to that way. So like that's one thing I regret from high school. Like I wish when I was disrespected by a teacher, I wish I just like got out of there. Also, thank you for the hydrate. Don't need to be good if you enjoy it, just have fun. Thank you. No, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I always like I wanted to play music just because I thought it was like a cool thing to do. You know, I taught myself to play the guitar, and it took me a long time to get over the fear of singing because I never really thought I was a singer. I still don't really think I'm a singer, but yeah, that was a. And so they had a sophomore banquet, and then they had a junior prom, and then I played music at both of them, which was very exciting. I will say I think I had the most fun at sophomore banquet because they actually gave me like a whole 30 minutes to be up there, which I had a fun time with. Yeah, it's funny because I hate talking to people. Like I hate interacting with people. I will try to avoid other people as much as humanly possible. But when it comes to like being in front of people, I actually like that's when I feel like I actually can like just enjoy it, is like when it's in front of an audience. I think it's partially why I do like to stream too and like make videos. Is like, well, one, it's a camera, so I'm not talking to an actual person. We're not people. Yeah, well, like it's like talking to a camera, I feel like is different. And then also when it's like an audience that I can sort of be in front of, I feel like for some reason it doesn't bother me as much as just like talking to, like, yeah, it's so weird because like, I don't know. Right now I feel like I'm like talking okay. I feel like I'm being okay at talking, but yeah, if I had to like talk to someone in person, like I will just freeze up. It's so weird because I feel like usually it's backwards with most people, right? Like when you can talk with your friends, but then when you talk in front of a crowd, that's when people freeze up. For me, it's the opposite. I can talk in front of a crowd, but then when I talk in front of friends, I freeze up. No, I get that. 30 as a number is different from 30 faces. True. Very true. Also, selfishly, I will admit that sometimes Twitch streaming is nice because I don't know, I stand by this opinion, but I feel like people might, I don't know if everyone would agree, but I feel like in general, a lot of people's not favorite, but like a lot of people have an easy time talking about themselves. Like a lot of people's favorite topic of conversation is themselves. I think it's true just because, I think it's true just because we all know our own selves. So it's like very easy to like make conversation about ourselves. Which is why sometimes I feel like Twitch streaming can be nice because I just get to talk about myself for however many hours. Yeah, it's the thing you know best, exactly. I will say, not to say that I'm not interested in everybody's opinion or like everybody's what everybody has to say. I totally love reading what everybody has to say. But yeah, like if I need to, if I need to keep chatting on stream, like I feel like it's easiest when I can just like chat about, what I did today or how I feel about this thing. But yeah, not that I don't like to hear not that I don't like to read everybody's chats and what everybody else has to say. Now I'm so different. I often get panic attacks having to present in front of a class. Much better when there's only 5 friends. Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, that's... I remember hearing a statistic, or not statistic, but like you know, like a fun fact or whatever about like how public speaking is more feared by people than like death. I will say like I think, because when I think public speaking, I think of like the times when I, you know, I perform music in front of people or stuff like that, where it's like I sort of have control of what I'm doing. When it's like presenting a project or an essay in front of the class, or God, I remember one of the most stressful things ever was like we had for one of our like history classes, we had a debate. So like we would have to go up in front of the class and have like a debate, and the teacher would grade when you're getting graded on a public presentation. That's a totally like different type of stress, I feel like. I'm glad even if I'm not a person that you still value my messages. I mean, hey, I think at the end of the day, we're all just robots. This is all just a simulation anyway. Oh, thank you for the posture check. I am starting to slouch. Ugh. Thank you. Man. Speaking of simulation, what a weird, what a weird segue. Speaking of simulation, when I was in college, for my English class, it was English 100, I believe. No, yeah, it was English 100. Wait, no, it might have been English 200. Anyway, for one of my English classes, we had to write a research paper, and like it was a research paper about whatever the heck you wanted to write research about, which I thought was really cool. I had a really cool English professor in college. Anyway, so I decided to do my paper on the simulation theory, which is, yeah, that the idea that we're all living in a simulation. And that was an interesting time in my life because I got really invested into it. And I didn't go like totally wild with it. Like I didn't, you know, I wasn't wearing tinfoil hat or anything, but I was very much I was very interested in it. And like I thought it was like super, yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, like a lot of it is like, you know, when you think of like the Big Bang Theory, or not Big Bang Theory is the show. When you think of like the Big Bang, it's like a computer starting, like this big event just randomly happens and then life exists. So yeah, like it's fun. It's like it's funny to think about how we could be living in a simulation, in a simulation, in a simulation. I don't know. I just think that's really interesting. It's like that one. I don't know if anybody watches Black Mirror. It's like that one episode of Black Mirror. The one where the the couple has to break out of the simulation, and then they're in a simulation. It's like that one. But yeah, so I wrote a whole college paper about that. Oh geez, I just noticed it's 11 o'clock. Should probably be heading to bed soon. Bedge. We had a pretty eventful night though. Pretty fun night. You're 10 hours behind. Cause wait, Sadie's from Australia, so crazy you're not even on Wednesday yet, and I've started my work on Wednesday. Yeah, it's still Tuesday night. Oh, from the UK. Oh, sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was thinking of well, yeah, I was thinking of how because I know Avimus is from Australia. On GMT, so I'm bang in the middle of the time zones. Nice. Okay, not sure if you got confused because I mentioned AV. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Oh wow, that's crazy. So we have people from all over the world. Met him through a YouTuber friend of his. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see, I see. Wow, that's cool. We have people from all over the world. I know, time zones are so crazy. So yeah, because I live in Hawaii, so... shoot. I looked it up. I think Hawaii is like the second furthest behind. I think there's like 1 or 2 other time zones behind Hawaii, but so yeah, we're really living in the past. Literally. How? They really are. I love them, but they can be such a pain. I know, sometimes, like, it's so funny because sometimes time zones will work out for you, like, work in your favor. Like, for example, it was always exciting when there was, like, E3 or something, like, E3 happening during the week, because I would be able to watch the E3 conferences before school. Or, like, even, like, the Apple, like, whenever Apple announces a new iPhone, I would watch it before school. So that was when, like, time zones worked in my favor. But then sometimes time zones really suck. Like, because my time zone is so far behind, I will, like, never be able to stream for some time zones, which really sucks. So yeah, it's cool when it does work in my favor. Yay! First place. I think my first place this whole night. So that might be a good race to end on for the night. I'm gonna go to sleep. Wake up tomorrow for work. Boop boop boop.